Summer is here, and we're set for a new season of the Extreme eSpeed TV Coast to Coast Racing League. The season has already begun, but the first night here for the Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's another edition of Monday Night Madness. Last week, the Week 13 Triple Crown was here, but this time, it's a brand new season. Welcome to Monday Night Madness, brought to you by the Osh Weekend Speedway. We get set to go for the B Division. The Rebels are brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. It's our Tim Chapman Racing pre-race show as we're just a couple moments away from taking the green flag. As you look up top, we begin here at America's home for racing in Charlotte. So glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala alongside Zach Chapman will be joined in a bit by Isaac Salas. Zach, as we get set to go, we've got a brand new era of racing on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and it's because of the new dirt changes on iRacing. A brand new model. We tested it out during Week 13. What did you learn?
You want to talk about leveling the playing field. I mean, Steven Spies, I was racing with him last night, and he'd gotten it dirt modified the other weekend for the first time in about 9 years. And he said the comparison to the new dirt racing iRacing update was, I mean, phenomenal. With the way you can't overdrive the cars anymore, you really got to be sensitive on the gas. And obviously, people don't know the setup tricks anymore, so everyone's looking for that. This should be a real fun season.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely does reset the playing field just a little bit. Would you agree on that too?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, you literally, Marty, it's insane with the technology they have in the wheels and pedals. You feel the bumps now after this update. You got to be so sensitive on the gas. It got to be a good driver to win now. They aren't given to you anymore.
For sure. Another notable change as well, and I think this will be a bigger thing that on the modified side, and I think it's a bigger thing on the sprint car side as well. But normally in iRacing setups, you'd be able to turn off the rock guard. Like if you ride on board Brandon Dittmer, all those bar things that look like prison cells, that is the rock guard we're referring to. Now in iRacing, the only way you can turn that off is if you go into your settings. It is on in the setup no matter what. That could definitely be notable is there. Well, you saw our past champions of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Congratulations to Dustin Sargent, as well as Joseph Grandy and Patrick Spangler on their runs. But we've got a lot more competitors on Monday Night Madness in the Renegades and the Rebels. That's also been a big change, Zach. No more 3 divisions. It's down to 2 divisions.
Yeah, and I was one of the people who didn't make the cut. I don't do a lot of racing in these sprint cars, so you're going to see a lot of guys like me having to prove themselves in the hometown hero races to try to work their way into this division. So hopefully you'll see me in a couple of these races later on here in the season.
Absolutely. Monday Night Madness has been, in my opinion, the premier night for racing on the Coast to Coast Racing League. Open setups and based out of tiered divisions. Normally, it was Raiders as the entry level, where you could be a part of that, and then Rebels, where you were under 225 in an IL, and then Renegades under a 200 IL. This time, it is completely different. You got to prove yourself in the hometown heroes, as Zach just said, and then we've got under 225 for Rebels and under 200 for Renegades. So that doesn't really stay the same, but as we look at things early here, Zach, a very impressive car count to begin this season.
Yeah, last night we had record car counts for like the late models and the midgets. So I look for that to keep carrying on. We got a great group of guys, and I mean, who doesn't want to run with a great group of guys almost every night of the week? You know, you can pick and choose, run whenever you want, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, we are set to go heat racing for the first time this season. We'll explain the format if you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League in just a bit. We're set for heat race number 1. Heat 1 is brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Flatline Racing Bodies, quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR regional short track champ Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Here's how the starting lineup looks. The lineups for heat races are determined via pill draw. Tyler Benefield, been a while since we've seen him, along with Joe Dirk Canellis. They make up the front row. Row number 2, it's the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21, next to the 17 of Daniel Blau. Row 3, the 94 of Gary Offut, and the 29 of Billy Richardson. Rounding out the field in row number 4, a pair of experienced drivers in sprint cars, the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer, and the 70 of Mike Cranmer. 3 drivers not making the call to grid, Benefield, Blau, and Richardson. So only 5 drivers here, and I believe, Zach, everybody will make the show this evening. How many heats do we have set?
Yeah, we've got 22 cars from what I'm seeing. 3 of them, just 8 were registered for this first one. So yeah, they should all make the show. I'm not sure if we'll run the B-Main or not for grid positions, but that'll be interesting to see, especially with the track carryover.
Field makes their way off at turn number 2. We're ready for the green flag. Let us know as well who you're rooting for in the chat, where you're based out of. Again, glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Yesterday began the summer season with a fun bang, I guess you could say, for sure. Now everything gets real and serious. Here we go. Heat 1 underway. Winner starts on pole for the 30-lap feature. Already 3 wide for the second spot, but Kevin Fry loses it just barely. Here comes Canellis up around the outside, looks for the race lead. Fry sends it in. Canellis way loose entering turn number 3, and Fry leads lap number 1. Mike Cranmer, Gary Offut, they're wing to wing for P2. Kurt Schatzer riding behind them in P4, Zach.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Kevin Fry go back to the top there in 3 and 4. I thought he showed everybody the fast move when he ran that slider line. He gapped the field when he did that.
And Kevin Fry just ran a 13:43, 1.3 second advantage on the drivers second through fourth. Schatzer a little bit squirrely in turn 4 as he races with off front, some slight contact. Gary hanging on for dear life, a nice save, and Joe nearly gets into him as well. Field now all spread apart. Another quick lap for the 21, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. 13:27, the rest of the field at least at 13:75 or higher, Zach.
Yeah, that was, well, I was trying to watch the battle here in the back. It was a great save by Gary. I thought maybe that was going to be enough that he could reel back in Joe here for 4th, but he seems to be having a lot of trouble in corner entry.
So let's watch that race for a second between Schatzer and Mike Cranmer as you're on board with the driver of the 218. High side again, the place to be. As we go throughout the night here, is it going to be, as you see the high side slick, is everyone going to go lower and lower, Zach?
You know, it didn't used to be that way, but with this update, it does seem to be that way. As you see, Schatzer right now looks sniff the bottom. I think if he could have gotten a big enough run, I think you want to try that move in 3 and 4. It seems you have a whole lot of room on exit.
Fry, Cranmer, Schatzer, Canellis, the top 4. Gary Offut finishes 5th, but Kevin Fry wins Heat 1. He's on the pole for tonight's 30-lap feature. We move on to heat race number 2. Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, the second-to-none heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area. They promise their customers that their own professionally trained Langdon specialists will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langdon. Here's the lineup for heat race number 2. Let the moose loose for the winner of the Asphalt Cup race at Daytona by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Joe Masso next to the 116 of Rich Holland. Row number 2, the 99 making his return, Gavin Chatham. And next to him, the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas. Row 3 on the inside, the 82 of John Mateo. And to the outside, the 52 of Zach Neubauer. Great to see both of them back. Rounding out the field this evening is the 5 of John Krupa.
Who's the favorite here, Marty?
That's a good question. If I were to go with a favorite, I think it's easy. I'd go with Slide Job.
Yeah, that's who I'm taking. That's who the money's going on.
Well, let's hope that your Monopoly money can pay off. So speaking of that, Jason Butterfield in the chat rooting for Venom Racing. Got a A lot of wheelmen this season. Winner starts outside of row number 1. Masso and Holland bring us to the green flag.
Well, we do have that choose cone, Marty, so the winner of Heat 1 could choose to start up high.
Absolutely, that could be pretty pivotal here. Salas up the wall early. Bad entry for Joe Masso. How about slide job? Threads the needle, 2 for 1 down the back chute and into second. Oh my goodness. When was the last time we saw somebody go 3 wide up the gut? That's Holland loses it, Zach.
Oh man, Isaac, he's letting it eat up top. I've never seen someone straighter on corner entry. He is just full throttle the whole way around.
And those sprint cars, especially Holland, just getting smaller, smaller, and smaller in the rear view mirror. It's Salas and Chatham for the race lead. Top 2 separated by 100th of a second when it came to lap time at the line. But Chatham looks for a run, tries to pressure Isaac into a mistake with 3 laps complete, Zach.
Yeah, Gavin and him are running the same line, exactly right. That's what he's trying to do, pressure him here. And now Isaac's going to go try that slider line that I thought looked good, and he did gap him, but we'll have to see how the run is going into turn 1.
And he's been known for running the slider line in the past. In fact, the slider line was really pivotal during week 13 with the new dirt update, Zach.
Yeah, if I'm Isaac, I mean, he did gap him a little bit. I don't give him the bottom in 3 and 4. Isaac runs that line better than about anybody in this league. And I'd stay down there in 3 and 4.
You saw the sparks fly with the tail take in turns 1 and 2. Chatham throws the slider on Salas. You've got a new leader, 2 to go with a heat. Salas tries to counter it back at slide job, sitting at Charlotte once again. Last time by for Chatham, a 12.94, the best lap of the day. Salas with a mega set underneath. Chatham clears, he leads with 1 to go, Zach.
Yeah, Isaac got in the wall a little bit on the backstretch, and that killed the chance for a slider in 3 and 4. But second to Gavin's nothing to slight about. That kid knows how to drive.
Chatham starts the outside front row. 99 wins at Salas in second. Holland third. Masso fourth. Neubauer fifth. John Mateo sixth. John Krupa crashed on lap 4, so he did not finish. He'll start from the back of the feature. We have 1 more heat left to go, and it's brought to you by a brand new sponsor. We'd like to welcome Top Notch Trucking to the Coast to Coast Racing League out of Minot, North Dakota. Top Notch Trucking doing your hauling needs in North Dakota, from hauling hay bales to water, and the service is, well, you guessed it, top notch. Hang on. The service is top notch. Thank you. Had to put that in there. Here's the lineup for heat race number 3. Jeff Kemper and Cody Graham. Cody Graham, this last season's overall champ. They make up row number 1. Row number 2, making his return, the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. And also in his return, the 883, no call from him though, it's Bud Molyneux. Row 3, the Canadian in the 014, G.J. Boydell, and the 4 of Greg Parma-Lee. Round out the field. Also starting from the 4th position in the number 83 Velocity Race Design Training Wheels Racing Ride, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Winner starts inside of row number 2 for our feature this evening. The feature is set for 30 circuits. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck makes the left-hand turn to pit road. Had a very successful week last week with the week 13 Triple Crown, from high limit to the dirt side to the asphalt side of things. It's Kemper and Graham that bring us to the green flag. We'll watch from the wide angle. Heat 3 is underway. But a late start from Kemper and Graham as the field goes into turn number 1. Row 3 way behind. It's 3 wide. Graham up on the top shelf, and he takes the race lead away. Moore looks for second spot on Jeff Kemper with the brand new update. Low line barely works out as he edges Kemper for second at the line, Zach. As Moore tries to throw the slide job. Man, that's tight.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Moore keep working that bottom in 3 and 4, though. I think the advantage is on the bottom. If you hit it right, you almost click that tire on the bottom.
Brandon Dittmer looks for a run up on the cushion of Brian Moore Sr. Moore slams the door off for turn number 2. Oh, Dittmer up in the wall. Loses control for just a moment, but regains the composure. So he loses some steam. Kemper, quickest car in the track, though, 13:54 to Graham's 13:55. Let's see, Zach, if he can get a better lap this time.
Yeah, since this update has come out, Kemper, he's been one of the top drivers on my team there for Gambler. He was a hard charger in 2 of the races last night. This dirt update has done wonders for him.
Last time by for Kemper, he was better by 600ths. This time by, make it a 10th better for the 181, and he's there on Cody Graham for the lead. Dittmer looks for P3. Graham, meanwhile, touches the wall in the center of 3 and 4. 2 to go in Heat 3. And Dittmer has taken the 3 spot from Brian Moore Sr., but Dittmer in the wall, and Moore takes it back. Boydell closes in on the Spider Monkey for 4th position. 1 to go here in Heat Race number 3. A 5-car length advantage for Cody Graham of the Graham Racing number 2 over the Gambler 181 of Jeff Kemper. As they come to the checkers, Cody Graham takes the Heat win. Kemper 2nd, Moore 3rd, Dittmer 4th, Parmalee 5th, and Boydell, who got into the wall in turn 3, comes across the line a slow 6th. And so that sends us into our warm-ups. We'll take our first break of the evening. When we come back, it's feature time. So stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Checkers are out here on warm-ups. Isaac Salas the quickest with a 13:48. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go for the first of 2 features this evening. Let's meet the field in your starting lineup, brought to you by a brand new sponsor of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Welcome, Catalytic Recovery. On the front row, it's the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. in the 21. Next, the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Row 2, the overall champ, Cody Graham in the 2, and Mike Cranmer in the 70. Row 3 is Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5, and Jeff Kemper in the 181. Row 4 is Superman, Kurt Schatzter in the 218, and the 116 of Rich Holland. Rounding out the top 10, the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. and the 1 of Joe Dirt Canellis. Row 6, the Moose of Joe Masso in the 63, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car 83. Row number 7, Gary Offbutt in the 94, and Zach Neubauer in the 52. Row 8, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and Tyler Benefield in the 224. Row number 9 is John Mateo and John Krupa in the 82 and the 5. You also have G.J. Boydell. That moves his way up in the 014. No Benefield, no Blau, no Molyneux, no Richardson. Let's know your pick on who you think's going to win in chat. Hear that Rick Moore is rooting for Brian Moore Sr. Try and take home the checker. Zach, who do you got winning tonight?
Man, I was watching him rip the lip in practice. I could count on one set of hands there. You know, one hand, how many times I saw him come out of the gas. Gavin Chatham's going to take this thing.
All right, Chatham starts for P2. A lot of good picks up here. I don't know who's it going to be, though. But there is always a favorite, as I like to say. Pick it ASAP. Field makes their way off turn 2. Steve King Foundation pace truck in the pits. We are set to go for the Lucy Olsen start. It's going to be a fun one. First race for the brand new Rebels. Gavin Chatham, Kevin Fry, bring them to the green. It's time to get them going at Charlotte. Fry slides up and clears Gavin Chatham early, but he leaves Chatham with the lane. Cody Graham underneath Isaac Salas for the 3rd spot. Lap 1 on the board, led by Kevin Fry. We got one up on the wall. I believe it's that Neubauer, the 52. It is, but we stay under the green flag as they're wadding them up throughout the field. Race for the lead is on. Fry holds off the charge from Chatham and Salas early, Zach.
Yeah, a lot of good.
Whoa, hang on, Gavin.
Whoa.
Way too much yaw.
Big wreck there.
No caution. We stay green. Kemper did catch the wall really, really good. 4 wide and 3. Dittmer trying to prow his way through. Some steering damage on the 1 of Canellis. He falls back to 14th spot, but we have a new leader. Isaac Salas up on the cushion, takes the 5 to the point, Zach.
Wow, where did he come from, Marty? I was watching all that battling back there. He shot out of a cannon to take the lead.
It was a 13:52 lap for Slide Job. An unbelievable roar through the field. And let's show you real quick how he got that done. Fry caught the wall, and it was just hanging on to the low line from Slide Job to take the lead. Easy money. Rich Holland has also crashed the 116. He takes her into the pit. Here's Chatham underneath. Fry all the way down to the basement. That was a very shallow entry for Chatham as he takes the 2nd spot away. Race for 4th. Brian Moore Sr. and Kurt Schatzer into turn 3. Lot of racing all over the place, Zach. And another quick lap from Salas, 13:50.
Yeah, you got to wonder if, Isaac's hoping it goes green and isn't worried about burning up the right rear, because we do have tire wear now. And
great point.
It is a big deal.
Yes, you don't want to rear that right rear out. It's a notable thing in sprint car racing. Most notably, you see it in the modifieds of all places. Let's go to the Moose, Joe Masso. He challenges Brian Moore Sr. That's for the 8th spot. Take a look at the dashboard and his telemetry. Up to about 118 miles an hour into turn number 1. I think the telemetry is so much more accurate than SDK Gaming provides us this time.
Got Isaac working his way through lap traffic here.
That's Jeff Kemper.
Still putting down quick times.
In the 181, a 1.6 second advantage on Gavin Chatham. Next guy he sees, the 82 of John Mateo. 11 laps in the books. Oh, but look at this one he's got to deal with. That's Joe Canellis in his way. Up on the outside. Does he go 3 wide? Nope, but the caution is out for Mike Cranmer in the 70. And now we'll see the new rules come into play, not only with the tires, but also the choose rules start to come into effect.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine Isaac not taking advantage of that top because, you know, you still get the jump. The start's still on the leader, so he'll have the preferred line and he'll get that jump.
Ooh.
And I think that'll make Kevin Fry and Chatham battle.
Yeah, big wreck. They just all went through. So that's the 70 of Mike Cranmer. As he takes her pit side. Had a great start to this. We got to give him credit. He was running really well early.
Yeah, he had a great start, and I think it just, you know, he got a little loose, and I think Kemper maybe kicked off the wall and just didn't have time to check up, and that kind of ruined their nights early, and they were just trying to hang on from there.
So I want to make a correction here, too. The choose cone you will be seeing in the Renegades division, not in the Rebels. However, though, the leaders will have lane choice when we come back to the green flag. And again, double file restarts all in effect until 10 laps to go. So you see Solace select the bottom of the track. We're going to watch this restart from the Chapman Racing drone as the Team Watson race setups, both new sponsors of the Coast to Coast Racing League. The Team Watson yellow in the books. Here comes Solace to bring the field back to green. 12 laps complete. Great jump on Gavin Chatham. You see 3 wide. Brandon Dittmer, look at this, nearly goes 2 for 1. Tries to get through Joe Masso for the 5th position. Can't do it just yet. Schatzer for the bottom step of the podium on Brian Morris Sr. gets him at the start-finish line. And that middle line starting to wear out here at the moment, Zach.
Yeah, I think if you're going to run the bottom, you got to commit to the bottom, especially in 1 and 2. It seems like it's there in 3 and 4, but the middle is just not there in 1 and 2.
Next time by, cross flags come up, 15 up, 15 down. Dittmer just about touches the wall down the back chute. Zach, you were telling me something interesting during break, something that you've noticed. You can't really wall ride anymore. You can't chastain it to the corners. If you hit the wall, your car could get really loose.
100%. Not only that, the damage model. I mean, you can't kiss that right rear off the wall too many times without breaking something.
Joe Masso moves up to 5th position. Biggest movers throughout this race. Let's look at the guys in 7th and 8th spot. G.J. Boydell started from 18th. He is in 11th spot. John Krupa technically started in 20th, so he started from last. He's in the 8th position. But I got to tell you, though, we saw Isaac Solace have that long run, that incredible start. He doesn't have a consistent lead. He may have worn that right rear out, Zach, because Gavin Chatham is closing in on him.
Yeah, boy, I wish iRacing would give us a live tire update. I'd love to see what the
Me
difference
too.
is between their right rears.
Solace up on the wall once again. Here comes Gavin Chatham for the top spot. 10 to go this time by at Charlotte for the first sprint car race of the season on a Monday night in prime time. They had the mandate race take place earlier today, not a broadcasted division. This is the way you want to go. The top 2 up on the outside as they go through lap traffic. First guy, the 94 of Gary Alpha. Next driver, the 70 of Mike Cranmer. 8.5 laps to go. Zach, your race for the lead entering 3.
Yeah, I think if you're Gavin, you caught these guys at the worst time because, I mean, you need to time it right that you can throw a slider on Isaac in 3 and 4. It's going to be real tough now with these guys bottom feeding.
Isaac's had a busy schedule on his hands in these past few weeks that he hasn't been able to take part in Rebels race. This is like a comeback race for him. He wants to prove to these guys that, hey, I'm still here with a vengeance. But Cody Graham could be in his way. But look at this, all this lap traffic. He takes the basement. Oh my, Gavin's in the wall. And Isaac nearly loses it. Gavin's got a problem. 6 to go, and Solace deals with Graham once again. And Neubauer loses it in the 52. He saves it. 5 laps to go for Slide Job. He's hanging on for dear life with this traffic. My goodness, look at this that Isaac's got to deal with, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, these guys hoping a caution comes out. They're battling to try to stay on the lead lap, and that's just going to hurt Isaac, but that's racing.
Oh, yikes, that's tight with Mateo. Top 5, Salas, Chatham, Schatzer, Dittmer, and Fry.
Isaac's being too careful.
He may be
Gavin's
being too
right
careful. Chatham's coming close, big time. Mateo's just holding him off. Does Chatham use it to his advantage? Oh, there goes Mateo. What a save. We stay green.
If you're
Salas.
Isaac, that's what you got to do at that point. It's time to go.
Salas had to take a big deep breath there, but now Parmalee comes in the way. With 2 circuits to go. Kruper and Moore race for possession, and they touch for a moment. 1 car length in 3 and 4. White flag waves, 1 to go. Salas, Chatham, or the field. It's now or never for the 99 down the back chute. 1 final time. Salas plays defensive in 3 and 4. Is that it? It is. Salas holds on and wins. Oh! Give it up for the 2 drivers there. That was a heck of a show to begin this night. Oh, man. I can't wait to hear the interview from the top 2. Oh, my goodness. But did you notice how quicker they were than the 3rd place guy, Kurt Schatzer? 10 seconds in front. I just realized that.
Yeah, I just rewound. Kurt took over 3rd there from Dittmer on the last lap, too, so good run for him there.
I think 7 guys only on the lead lap at the end. Here's a look at the official results. 7 guys on the lead lap. Wow. Salas, Chatham, Schatzer, Masso, Boydell, Dittmer, Fry. And you got more senior Parmalee Krupa, the top 10, top 5 eligible to transfer in. But my goodness, what a race, what a beginning to the season, Zach. And I hope
they don't get much better than that.
Oh,
and
no,
I mean,
they
you got guys like Isaac and Gavin, you know. They're going to be in the top 5 every week. Those are guys that can run for the Renegades championship.
Yes.
Those guys can race.
I honestly hope as well that we see this exact same race in the Renegades. I think we will. Who knows, though? But, man.
Yeah, you might get a Goldner and a Moonen mixed in there, too. That
Yes.
might be a lot of fun.
I believe we will be seeing the return of Vanderbilt tonight. But let's begin with our podium. Our 3rd place finisher, Kurt Schatzer. Kurt, walk us through your race tonight.
Well, Marty, I tell you the truth, I didn't have a whole lot of laps coming in here since the update with the sprint cars. I'm more of a late model and modified guy, so these were actually the first laps I really had all since the update, and I was just trying to learn the car and figure it out, and it was a lot different. It was a lot more touchy, a lot more throttle than the old update.
Positives you take away?
I like the update a lot. There's a lot more throttle in it and a lot more racy, I think. So I look forward to it. I had a lot of fun with it. So we'll see.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank. He does a lot to help racing all around the country here. And got to thank Joe with Got Your Six Racing Network. Got to thank the boys over there on Hammer Down Racing, Brandon, Brian, and Joe. And you, Marty, doing a broadcast with Zach up there. You're doing an awesome job there, Zach. And Roger, Preston, giving us a place to race, and everybody watching.
All righty. Well, we'll let you go. Great run, and we'll see you in the Renegades.
Thank you, Marty.
Kurt Schatzer, our 3rd place finisher. Let's go to 2nd place and talk with Gavin Chatham. Gavin, that's got to be heartbreaking after being oh so close to that one. What more did you need for Isaac at the end?
Well, not Isaac. Isaac was doing everything he needed to do to win that race. He was doing a good job of trying to pick his way through lap traffic carefully. That was me as a driver mistake. With about 5 to go, I got in the wall and killed everything I had, and and that's really the biggest mistake I had. I tried going in on the last lap in 3 and 4. I tried just sending it on the top because I knew he was going to protect the bottom as he should, and I clipped the wall again. So good win for Isaac. I'm sorry. He's good. He's smooth. He's fast. He knows what to do and how to win it. And he did everything right tonight to put himself in position. And if I didn't make a mistake or two, maybe we would have had him.
Zach was talking about earlier as well with this new dirt update how tires are a lot more critical than ever. Were you saving tires in that first long run?
Yeah, I was. I was definitely trying to save that right rear and not burn it off. And I think the lap cars helped me as well a little bit. But at the end there, I was really using up my stuff, and I tried at the beginning to save some tires. And that's the huge thing that we were able to run the matinee earlier, and we learned a lot. And I think it kind of hurt me though in a sense too. The wing position was different earlier, and I adjusted my wing. I think one click too far back tonight. Should have left it go, and that's when I got in the wall. But yeah, running these matinee races is huge now too. I learned a lot about tire wear and how it's going to most likely burn off tonight. It burned off or got a little bit more wear and tear out of it with more cars, and the track got a little more slicker than the matinee. But yeah, the tire wear is huge. I mean, being able to save your tire for the last 5 or 8 laps. I mean, but it's also tough too when you have guys like Isaac who's putting down fast laps. You got to keep them close too. You can't bank on cautions to keep you close. But tire wear is huge. You gotta just maintain and be smooth.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
I just want to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. It was fun listening to you guys during the heat races and stuff. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing for putting on an awesome league. It's always fun coming out and racing with everybody. Congrats to everybody who ran good tonight. Congrats Isaac on the win. I want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, and Velocity Race Design. Thanks to all the support. I want to thank all the fans that came out and watched us tonight. I hope we put on a good show, and hopefully the next one's pretty good as well. And I just want to thank all the people that come out and support me and watch the races. And thanks for spending time and your time to watch and support.
Great job tonight, man. Best of luck in the Renegades if we see you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Gavin Chatham, your second place finisher. But now it's time to go to victory lane to talk with your winner. Isaac Salas takes it home. Isaac, you got it done, but man, was that not easy at in the end.
No, I destroyed my right rear so I could put some lap cars between Gavin and I, and then I was I don't remember who it was. I think it was Cody, I want to say. I was racing the crap out of him trying to get around him. He's throwing sliders back at me, and so I know Gavin just kind of sucked right up to me because I wasted all my tire left.
What is your tire at? Your right rear tire. Can you look at garage or did you exit?
Well, before I exited out, my tire said 63%.
Wow. Dang, that is a lot.
You burned that up.
I was cooking on the top, dude. I was full bore in the middle portion of that race trying to get around lap cars. And I was just like, please stay green.
Well, yeah, you nearly had a lot of close calls in lap truck. I think the one was when Chatham came in, when you and Cody were racing. I think that was when Cody got sideways right in front of you. I thought you were done.
I thought I was too. I slammed it straight back to the wall, and threw on the binders to see if I could get away from him, and luckily I did. And I thought Gavin actually tagged him, like after I saw him spin out in front of me. But we stayed green. And I was like, okay. And I looked down at the relative, and Gavin's still right up near me. I was like, oh no, I still gotta battle him.
How much fun did you have though with this new dirt update?
It was a blast. I got a really good setup here, that's just made for the top and for the cushion, and I thought it was good racing actually. You know, seeing the multiple lines kind of with the lap cars, but nobody was really impeding me that much, so I was kind of lucky to be the only one on the high side. But I thought it was a blast, man. It's always fun to race Gavin as well, especially for a win.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Big shout out to all those guys over at Venom. I already got Brian. I think I barely went across the finish line, and Brian was already typing out his congratulations on the win. So big thanks to all those guys. Dean of Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, you and Arson Trackside, Dirt Track Bank. Everybody here in Coast to Coast. Thank you guys for the broadcast. It's good to see Zach up in here as color, so it's always a pleasure to hear his wonderful voice. Mission 22, everything that they do for our veterans. My Gramps and Top Notch Trucking. And yeah, thanks to our veterans, my friends and family that support me.
Great job, man. Congratulations. What a run.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Isaac Salas is your winner. He's an Extreme E-Speed TV victory lane. Let's step aside and take a commercial break. When we come back, it's Renegades time at Charlotte. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The sun is set under the lights here at Charlotte. Renegades are about to go down. Brought to you by Dillon Westbrook Racing. Marty Scala alongside Zach Chapman. Zach, we get set for the Renegades, and a couple of things come to mind. So many storylines coming into this one. The first one, the car count. 32 drivers. I can't recall the last time we had 32 drivers, but it could set up the rare C-Main, and I think it will.
Yeah, I don't know what the record is for this class, but I'll tell you what, it's got to be close. If we didn't hit it, we're within 3 or 4 guys, because it's phenomenal to see all these guys come back out. Got the whole bandy group back out here. Every one of them can win every night of the week, so it's going to be a phenomenal race. We thought we had a good one that last one.
Yeah, I love it. And last time I think we saw a C-Main in Renegades, I want to say that you have to go back to 2021. I think this was in my early years of being a part of the league. So, yes, I know we are having some technical difficulties. I know why. They should be fixed by now. It should be all good.
Gonna make these heat races all the more interesting with no qualifying as well. You're gonna see everybody go for it right away from the drop of the green.
Yes, absolutely. So, when we come into this situation, who is going to be the main guy that stands out? Actually, hold that thought. I believe, are we good? We are good. So, we're set to go for Heat 1. Again, if you just saw some frame drop, we apologize for that. But, Zach, we're ready for Heat 1. Let's give you the starting lineup here for Heat 1, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. And they roll off like this. On the front row, the number 36 of Barry Gollner. And next to him is the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Row number 2, it's the 20 of the salesman, Blake Chapman. And the 10 of Ross the Boss Carina. Row number 3 is the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas. The 51 of John Short. Rounding out the field, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. And the 217 of Gentleman, Jack Hitt. One of the other stories, and they're not in this heat race to begin, but coming up in just a bit, the return of the Vanderbilt team. Well, I mean, you technically have him with Barry Gollner. He was in I believe every race last season, but they're all back. Kyle Moonen, Steven Gollner. I think Brennan Lacey's back. I didn't get a good check of the entry list though, except for how many drivers were here. But Vanderbilt is going to be a huge threat tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal. I've never been this excited to broadcast a race with you, Marty. This is going to be one of the best races we get to watch all season.
The last time I've been hyped for a race, probably have to go back to the season finale in Knoxville. Not last season, but 2 seasons prior, when we had so many storylines coming on in. The championship time. Alrighty, winner starts on pole here for the 35-lap feature. A lot of rule changes in Renegades this year. We're excited to bring them to you. Ready for the green flag, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's get ready to rumble. 3-4 wide for the lead. It's gonna end ugly. Salas, Carina, Templeton. Boys, it's only Heat 1. They're already getting feisty. And it's led to a Kreitz Sim Racing 1-2. Short and Chapman for the lead early here, Zach.
Yeah, and John Short getting a heck of a run on the outside, and Blake, I think he's just trying it on the bottom, but it's just not working. Barry Gollner looks like he might get him here too.
Remember, top 4 transfer, Barry Gollner 3rd, Jeff Barker's in 4th. Jack Hitt is the first one out, 9/10 of a second behind the 3rd place guy in Jeff Barker. But Short starts to run away from the cops, and Blake Chapman already approaching. The 5 of Isaac Salas as we're halfway home in Heat 1. Just got a text here from Roger. He believes that 28 should make the feature. So from the sounds of it, the car count. Yeah, so from the sounds of it, the car count has expanded 4 features this year on the Renegades. So we're definitely looking forward to it. Here's the race for third. Barry Goldner against Jeff Barker. 2 to go in Heat 1 here, Zach.
Yeah, and they got to be as smart as they can here. I mean, Templeton is coming, but right now they're both transferring. So, I mean, you got to be smart.
That's actually Jack hitting the 217 for that final transfer spot. 1 to go. Let's watch this closely. John Short, though, 1.5 second lead on Blake Chapman. He'll start on pole position. Final transfer spot on the line. Barker up by a half second on Jack Hitt. He's got it, but can he take Barry for third? He can. So it's Short, Chapman, Goldner, Barker, your transfer spots in Heat race number 1. Brandon Dittmer says after the Rebels race, the wall is the bane of my existence. And a hello to Gary Spangler. Long time no see. Saw him yesterday at the Knox Raceway for Rush late model action. It was an incredible race to watch and a quick night. Great job from the track crew at Knox to get us in and out in 2 hours with rain on the way. So, Zach, you were going to say something too?
Oh, I was just saying here, the favorite, or my favorite of the B race, he drew P2 here in the Heat, so I have to see if he can take advantage of this and get second for the feature.
Heat 2.
It'd be neat to see a B series driver give these A guys some competition.
Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Here's how the starting lineup looks. On the front row, Bob DeGood in car number 7 and the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Row number 2, the return of the Money King, Kyle Moonen. And next to him, the 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Row number 3, the inside, has the 55 of the detective, Steven Spees, and the 34 of the captain, Gary Taylor. Round out the field, it's the Pink Panther of Jesse Atkinson in the 127, and the Moose of Joe Masso in the 63. This is a stacked heat here.
Yeah, did they learn anything from the first heat, though? Are we going to make it through turn 1?
Hopefully.
I mean, nobody wants to go through that B-Main. Nobody.
Yeah, hopefully. Just whatever you do, don't go 4 wide. Top 4 make it in. Winner starts outside of row number 1. Here we go. Chatham tries to get away with a start, but Spangler moves up to second. Could be just about 3 wide. It's not. Spangler underneath, but Chatham slams the door in his face. Both go up the racetrack, and Gavin Chatham leads lap 1. Races on for third, Kyle Moonen and Bob DeGood. The slide job for the Money King. What a counter back by Bob DeGood. Zach, his Taylor's on the wall. Woo!
Yeah, Bob DeGood wheeling and dealing through a slider or a crossover again. Bob is taking that kid to school.
Oh, hang on, Bob. Nice save from the 7. He checks up for the lead meanwhile. Spangler on Chatham. The slider line works for the 99. But watch out, Spangler's gaining a run into turn 1. 13:56 last time by for Spangler. DeGood's third, Kyle Moonen's in fourth. Jesse Exon behind him for that final transfer spot. Back up front for the lead between the 99, the 20, and the 39 here. Last time by, Chatham better by 100.
For third.
Oh, look at this. Moonen up on top, 2 for 1 to the third spot. DeGood in fourth. Atkinson stuck down in the 5th spot. Speeds up in the wall. Atkinson moves to 5th. 13:48, better by 0.6 last lap. Gavin Chatham's going away, coming to 2 to go, Zach.
Yeah, it's a very good race throughout the field. Good, clean, hard racing.
Two guys
Kinda
having
spreading out now, though.
Two drivers having personal best last lap. Kyle Moon in 13:50. Bob DeGood 13:74. But here comes the Pink Panther for that final spot. Atkinson took a peek, did not work. DeGood up in the wall, has to hope for a Bob DeGood mistake. You know who's going to finish in the top three.
Ooh,
How about
55.
for fourth on back? Steven Speeds. Ooh, Atkinson messed up in the second half of their lap. Speeds takes fifth, but Bob DeGood has the final transfer spot in fourth. And now
Speeds is going to have to come through the B-Main, but he's someone who you can't sleep on. He won that high limit open race we had charity week, so
yep.
he proved he knows how to wheel him and deal him.
Pulled the stunner. Spangler probably still bummed after missing out on that, I think, the 10 extra bucks. So, ready for Heat 3, brought to you by our new sponsors at Top Notch Trucking. Here's the starting lineup. On the front row, it's Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Next to the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in the 07. Row number 2, the return. He's got a new number. He's got a new number. In the 14, it's the low line master of Brennan Lacey. To the outside, the Professor, John Hine in row 2. Row number 3, into the Renegades for the first time. Jeff Fitzpatrick in the 90, next to the 200, driven by Jeff Flaro. Rounding out the field, the 91 of Kyle Sargent. And next to him, it's the Bassman, Roger Craig.
Now, we all know he can drive him like nobody else, but first night back in a while, does Lacey have any goosebumps?
That is a good question. We'll see, especially with this new dirt update, because you want to go high. But Brent Lacey has shown us in the past that he can work the high side. He can hustle it up top. Top 4 move on. Winner starts inside row 2. And here we go.
Great start for Schatzer. He's going to be able to clear him.
Oh, Preston Cranmer, though, gets a run off turn 2. Has to let off the gas, but here comes Brennan Lacey. Inside slide job, Lacey, you bet. And no time, we got a wreck. Fitzpatrick and Flaro wreck. What I was about to say, Lacey leads lap 1. John Hine.
He hasn't missed a beat, Marty.
No, he is not. He's telling the competition, hey, boys, miss me? I'm back. 13:50, well, my goodness. Only 13-second lap from Brennan Lacey last lap. A half-second better than the comp at least. My goodness.
He's running that slider line in 3 and 4. I think that is the way to do it if you can control it.
Race for the final transfer spot. John Hine and Kyle Sargent. At a car length and a half, separate fourth and fifth. Another quick lap for Brennan Lacey. 13:47 this time. My goodness. 3 to
He
go.
just keeps getting faster. 46 that time.
Jeez. Brennan, man. These guys have families.
Yeah, they're going to need to take that thing to the tech shed. 13.5 now. Oh, man.
He's got to deal with some lap traffic. Who saw this coming? That he would have to deal with lap traffic. I mean, Jeff Fitzpatrick and Jeff Flaro did wreck. So, we got a race for the final transfer spot, though, with 1 to go. Kyle Sargent is putting up a fight on John Hine into turn 1. Sargent has to hope Hine makes a mistake. Does Sargent throw a slider here into turn 3? He's going for it. Slide job perhaps from Sargent. No, up the track. Nearly loses it. Hine wins the final transfer spot in the feature.
Brennan Lacey ran a 13.4 at the same lap he lapped 2 cars. If I was anyone else in this race, I would be scared of that.
Absolutely. Now we move to the final heat race, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, the official sponsor of the retreads in the Coast to Coast Racing League. On the front row, Your defending Raiders champ, it's big money, Dustin Sargent in the 77. Next to him is Trent Verstraeten. He is in the 88. Row number 2 on the inside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy, and the 56 of Randy Shreves. Grandy, the defending Rebels champ. Row 3 also with a new number, the 49 of the Bandy-built master, Jesse Bandy. And next to him, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Rounding out the field this evening in the 042, it's the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson. And to the outside, it's the 30 of Steven Goldner. Man, a lot of these new schemes, the drivers have me doing some work here this coming Monday when I'm putting together all the updated number fonts on the leaderboard. We got a lot of new schemes, and I like them.
You know, I was thinking of a way to work that in, Marty, right as you said that. These are phenomenal. I mean, you know as well as I do, it takes time to do that. And the fact that these guys, you know, put that kind of time in for their sponsors and just to show off their car, you know, so everybody on the broadcast can see what they got. It says a lot about the guys. I love racing with these guys.
One lap to go until we take the green flag. Here we go for Heat 4. Sargent up the racetrack in front of Verstraeten. My goodness, oh, 4 wide again. Oh boy, Dustin's to the wall, 4 wide again.
How did they not wreck?
Jeez. Stephen Fagan and Shreves in the wall. Nobody wrecks, and in all of it, Joseph Grandy to the lead. Landis up 4, Steven Goldner up 5, and Verstraeten's up on the wall. So many drivers up on the wall, pretty good.
8th to 3rd and 2 laps for
Oh
Mr.
man,
Goldner.
and Steven nearly moves up to 2nd. On board with the 30. He wants it. Underneath Terry Landis. Big slide job. Oh my, Landis with a mega wheelie, he's up and over. Steven was not going to be denied, though, of that 2nd spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I feel like, I mean, it's hard without looking in the in-car of Terry, but I feel like maybe Steven had enough room for that. I mean,
yeah,
he's got a big run, and he threw it, kind of got a lift out and turned down.
Tough break for Terry, a 1366 to a 1394. Oh my goodness! From worst to first in 6 laps, how do you do?
Well, if anybody thought it was the setups that made those Bandy guys wheel these things, whole new update, setups don't work. These guys know how to drive.
13:39 last lap. Breaking news, Bandy built is back. What else can you say about this? Steven Goldner put on a dominant performance in Heat 4. Grandy 2nd, Bandy 3rd, Dustin Sargent 4th. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Bandy definitely showed some quickness too, but I feel like he was getting roughed up early on, so I think he just settled down, wanted to make sure he gets in this A-main tonight.
Absolutely. Alrighty, folks, we've got a B-main, no C-main. It is a B-main tonight. And let's just confirm how many drivers we are taking. 12 drivers to the feature. So it is a field of 28 here tonight. And
we got 4 going home.
Yep, 4 drivers will be going home, and this is the lineup. On the front row, it's Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217 next to the 55 of the Detective in Steven Spees. Row 2, the 91 of Kyle Sargent next to the 42 of the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson. Row 3, it's the 10 of Ross the Boss Corinna and the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Row 4 on the inside, it's the 747 of the Bass Man, Roger Craig, next to the 56 of Randy Shreves. Rounding out the top 10 in the 5, it's Slide Job, Isaac Salas, and the 63 of the Moose and Joe Masso. Row 6 to 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, and the 161. Row number 7, it's the 31 of Brandon Templeton and the 34 of the Captain Gary Taylor. Rounding out the field, the 200 of Jeff Flaro and the 88 of Trent Verstraeten. No call to grid by the 31 and the 88. I wonder if they're planning on here, Zach, if they're going to start late and hope for a wreck to break out, for a big wreck to break out.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very
that's
risky.
a ballsy strategy. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. I'd sooner, ask for the OL on the grid and just hut around at the back before I'd do that. But we'll have to see here.
Remember, Templeton was supposed to start in 13th. Verstraeten's supposed to start in the 16th spot. And remember, we are taking the top 12 drivers, so we will focus on the driver that is in 12th. When we take the green flag, that currently is Terry Landis. Crunch time, and how bad do you want it? B-Main, ready, underway at Charlotte. Three wide in the middle with Isaac Salas. Everyone gets through clean off turn number 2. 4 wide behind them. Yikes almighty. Roger Craig, my goodness, everybody kept it straight.
Yeah, you saw Isaac try to play it smart and hit the brakes there to back out of the 3 wide, and it ended up turning into a 4 wide.
And he's got the final transfer spot in 12. No call for Trent Verstraeten or Brandon Templeton. So two drivers that are in this field currently go home. Look out! There goes Taylor and Atkinson's flipping. And I think we've got your top 12. Unless a wreck happens.
Yep, that's if you're in the Discord with your buddies here, you're telling them that. You're telling them top 12 go, just stay where you're at.
Absolutely. Atkinson pulls in the pits. He will not race in the feature as he wrecks the Gambler Motorsports B-Main. Gary Taylor may not make it, but everyone still wants to race, just like what Salas is doing. We got a quick car in third, and that is Ross Corinna. It's a 3-man horse show for the lead of the cross flags here, Zach.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're still seeing 3 wide and sliders going on with top 12 being set. But, I mean, these guys, they want to make it easier for themselves in the A-Main, I guess. Isaac's in the fence.
Oh, that's not good for Slide Job. Maybe starting from 23rd or 24th-ish. Spees has pulled up a gap on Tyler Wilson and Ross Corinna for just a bit. Leaders approach lap traffic. If you're Gary Taylor right now, you're praying that all the racing that's happening near the front, that it turns into disaster.
Oh yeah, you're loving it if you're him, but I'm still shocked. You see Isaac, he's not afraid of that wall.
There's a guy up the wall as well. 2 to go in this B-Main. Let's watch this closely in case disaster strikes. One lap to go in this B-Main. Everyone just trying to make sure they don't stay too close to each other. Hang on, Kyle Sargent. Oh, look out! Oh my goodness! They touch! Salas goes around! Where's Gary?
Isaac needs to hurry.
Nope, Gary won't make it. Isaac's gonna make it because Gary finished a lap down. He is out. Isaac still makes it into the show. Spees wins the B-Main. If only they're happy with 2 laps to go, Gary would have had a chance. Unfortunately, he's the first one out. Wild racing overall, and we've yet to get to the feature. It's coming up in just a moment on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Extreme eSpeed TV, the Coast to Coast Racing League, Osh Weekend Speedway, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you so much for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. It's now time to kick off the summer right and meet the field of 28, ready to take the green for 35 laps at the dirt track at Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Catalytic Recovery starting lineup. On the front row, John Short in the 51 and Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row 2, Vanderbilt teammates, low-line master Brennan Lacey in the 414, or the 114 rather, and Stephen Goldner in the 30. Row 3, the salesman Blake Chapman in the 20, and the high side banger Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 4, the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer, and the 518 of 100 Grand Joseph Grandy. Row 5, it's the 36 of Barry Goldner, and the 24, the Money King Kyle Moon and teammates. Row 6, the 07 of the Ayla Outlaw Preston Cranmer, and the 49 of the Vanderbilt Master in Jesse Bandy. Row 7, the Brewerton Beast in Jeff Barker, and the 513 and the 7 of Bob D. Good. Row 8, the 71 of the Professor John Hines, and the 77 of Big Money Dustin Sargent. Row 9 is the 55 of the Detective Steven Spees, and the 10 of Ross the Boss Perino. Row 10, the 42 of the Macho Man Tyler Wilson, and the 56 of Randy Trees. Row 11, the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick, and the 161 of the Desert Demon Terry Landis. Row 12 is the 217 of Gentleman Jack Hitt, and the 63 of Joe Masso. Rounding out the field in row 13, the 91 of Kyle Sargent, and the 747 of the Bass Man Roger Craig, the 5 of Isaac Salas, and the 200 of Jeff Valero round out the final row on the grid. 1 to green here. Zach, who's your pick to win it?
Well, I mean, from what I was watching in warm-ups there and from what he showed us in the heat race, Goldner's got to be the favorite. But, man, Blake Chapman could do it. Spangler could do it. I mean, this is going to be a battle.
Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? There's always a favorite out there. Pick it ASAP. We're ready for the Lucy Olson start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? The first race of the summer, it is showtime here in Charlotte. Three wide, oh, the leader's touch. Gavin Chatham and Stephen Goldner early. Goldner does a wheelie, and we're winding them up in turn 3. Moonen's in it, same with Grandy, but in the infield, we stay green.
Big wreck on the front stretch. Holy crap.
Oh my goodness. We have a Waffle House in turn 1, in the words of the late great Rick Eshelman, because they're scattered, smothered, and covered. Zach, we've got a lot to unpack here. Let's begin with Joseph Grandy and Kyle Moonen. Oh, Moonen and Grandy simply touched, and around they went.
Yeah, it seemed like Moonen just ran out of room there.
And then let's see what happened with Steven Spees and Randy Schiff. They were 4 wide, maybe even 5 wide at one point. Oh my goodness me. And there you see it right there. Oh my, Tyler Wilson rides the fence. Yikes almighty. Let's watch from another angle. They were 4 wide. Yeah, 4 wide. I'm still waiting for them to do 5 wide once again. Well, the worst of it all goes to Tyler Wilson. Go ahead, Zach, as we'll ride on board with him.
I think Ross Carina makes contact with Dustin Sargent there coming out of turn 4 right as they're going on the front stretch, and he turns down and gets into Spees, and that's what starts it all.
Great call. We just watched it on board. Tyler Wilson got a great view of that Gambler Motorsports wing. We'll reset the field here. 2 laps complete, and now we start to see a brand new rule come into effect, and that, of course, is the choose rule. You can choose whatever line you want, and you see John Short select the top, Brennan Lacey select the bottom.
I can tell you the majority of us have wanted this for since the High Limit Series started. This is awesome.
So it's Short and Lacey are front row. That'll bring us to the green flag. 2 laps go up on the board. There we go. Nice jump from Brennan Lacey on that restart. hangs in there with John Short. What can the low-line master do? Nothing about it. Tucks in line behind the 51 of Short. Spangler in third. Bandy fourth. Blake Chapman rounds out the top 5. On board with Lacey. He's right there. Oh, the touch! All over the bumper of the 51. And here comes Spangler into the mix-up.
These guys driving it like they stole it. Nobody worried about saving that right rear right now.
What a lap last time by for Spangler. 14:39 for second. It's too close to call. 3 cars under a blanket. Spangler goes 2 for 1 and a lap to the point. And here comes John Short underneath. Slide job, Shorty. He's got it, or does he? No, Spangler secures it at the line, Zach.
Oh, John, can he get both of them here? Patrick got a little bit loose.
Here goes Short underneath for the slide job. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it did work just barely. The slider from Helma. Spangler hangs on to the lead.
Patrick showed everybody watching how you do that. You jam the brakes, turn it right back down, and get him right back.
Short with the mega said. This is unbelievable. Oh, contact with Spangler. They're hooked. And Lacey goes to the point. And here comes, is that Bandy? That is Bandy. Holy smokes, what a race. It's just about 4 wide for third on back.
I can't believe the way Blake Chapman's doing this on the bottom. He's showing that the bottom can get it done.
This is just unbelievable racing. Some of the greatest racing we've ever seen in coast to coast. And Brennan Lacey, oh my goodness, Goldner, what a lane change to third. Too much of it though.
John Hine loving this battle. The professor's eking his way into this.
It is 1-2 Bandy belt at the moment with Jesse Bandy in second, John Short stuck in third. It could be 1-2-3 here by Steven Golder, and it is. It's a Bandy
built statement.
11 laps in the books, and it's a Bandy-built podium at the moment. Short and Chapman want to end as Sargent pulls off into the infield. Spangler, holy smokes! As he
John's in the wall.
Oh, that's going to end. This may end it here. Oh, my goodness. How did nobody touch? And now there's the yellow. Oh, my. Who is that? That's Kyle Moonen. Barrel rolling. Let me take a breather here, folks. That was something. Let's show you what happened. Moonen sideways in front of Joseph Grandy. The 518 goes around. And Moonen up in the wall. I don't know how. Ooh, and then Wilson comes in there. Now, what in the world happened to the aftermath to Moonen?
Yeah, Moonen, you could see it after Grandy got into him. That right front broke, so I think he gassed it up trying to keep it straight. I do not think that was intentional whatsoever.
That is what happened to the Money King indeed. It's right on board with him.
Yeah, Gavin Chatham got him in the rear end a little bit and pushed him sideways.
Yep, there it was, right there. Well, thought from him he was going to do a wheelie like he did at Kokomo about a year ago.
Yeah, it's just a tough one for Gavin because if you go back and look at it, you know, Moonen tried to come down, and when he did, Barker got loose in front of him on the bottom, so he had to bind the brakes, and Gavin, nothing he could do about that.
Now this is the next question we wonder. Has Brendan Lacey used up the right rear tire, to which Jesse Bandy and Steven Goldner could use to their advantage?
We're going to find out.
Yep, let's go aerial shot here for this restart. The Chapman Racing drone. Brendan Lacey selects the top. Him and Jesse Bandy, row 1. Steven Goldner, Blake Chapman, row 2. Patrick Spangler, Kurt Schatzer, row 3. John Short, Jeff Flero, row 4. John Hine and Preston Cranmer round out the top 10. Here we come back to the green flag once again. 13 laps go up on the board. There goes Lacey. And here comes Bandy. Oh, don't do that. Oh, my goodness. The teammates nearly touch. Oh, with the walls to 51. And here we go. Trouble. Short sideways. Fitzpatrick and a big T-bone by Joe Musso.
And Spangler and Bandy get together coming on the front stretch right as the caution come out. Hopefully Bandy's car is all right.
Let's take a look here. You see some top wing damage on the 39. Bandy looks okay, but just a wicked crash in the back of the field. My goodness. Let's show you another angle of what happened to John Short here. Contact with Schatzer, the wheels touching the wall. Around with the 51, thought he saved it here, and then bam, Joe Masso and Kyle Sargent just came flying in there. Right on board with the 63. He thinks everyone, that's what happened. He touched the wheel of Randy Shreves, and there was nothing that Joe could do about it.
I think Bandy had to pit.
Check here and see.
Yeah, Bandy, something broke on him whenever him and Spengler got together. He felt like he needed to pit.
Let's watch Kyle Sargent's on board 2 here as we're about a lap away from going green. That was a violent crash. And yep, Jesse Bandy is in the pits. And yep, take a look at this. We've got the 2 greatest drivers in coast-to-coast history on the front row on the sprint cars, but immediately you see Steven Goldner move up to P2.
Gotta love that team Discord restart when you can tell your buddy when you're going. I mean, they cleared him, make him walk off.
So it's Steven Goldner that moves to second. 15 laps are in the books.
Coming out of 4.
Oh, pile up with Jack Hitt. No caution yet. They're going to let him race for now. Someone's lost the front wing, and that was Jack Hitt. We got more trouble with Randy Shreves, and now the caution comes out. A very late yellow by iRacing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what took so long for the caution to come out there. There were a lot of cars involved in that.
I don't know. I think Barney up in the flag stand may be doing something tonight. May have gone to Dingus a little bit too much tonight.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. This is Jeff Barker racing with Solis. Oh, and Barker and Solis. Solis with a ramp somehow keeps it straight. You saw Jack Hitt spin. How that did not warrant the caution, I do not know. I think this is what led to the caution flag. No, it was with Jesse Bandy right here. Take a look into Jack Hitt. I think, did he wheel it around? Yep, that's what brought the caution flag out with Jesse.
Yeah, I think just a little frustration there. You know, he had a car that could possibly won this thing, and just a little contact as a caution comes out, and then overdriving it a little bit. But you got your drop weeks, and he's one of the best we've got, so he's got a whole season to make it up.
Yes, if you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League, 11 races this season for the sprint cars, and they are able to drop their 2 worst finishes if they race in all 11. If they race in 10, they have to drop 1. If they race in 9, they cannot, or less, they cannot drop any. So you see it once again. Lacey selects the top. As we're under another Team Watson caution. Brennan Lacey, Patrick Spangler, row 1. Steven Goldner, Blake Chapman, row 2. Kurt Schatzer, Preston Cranmer, row 3. Jeff Flero, Terry Landis, row 4. Steven Spies, and who is that in 10th? That's Ross Carino. Time for the Mission 22 restart. As we've got 18 to go, back to green. Again, 1 and 2. Blake Chapman looks for 3rd on Patrick Spangler. Not able to secure it there. Here comes Schatzer, though, up on the top shelf on Chapman. Can he get P4 here at the start-finish line? Not yet. Chapman hangs on, but it's all Brennan Lacey and Steven Goldner, the top 2. Now, what does Steven Goldner do here? Does he just stay tucked right behind Brennan Lacey here at the moment, Zach, or what do you think happens?
For now, but no chance Goldner doesn't try to win this thing when it comes down to it. If he has a chance, that's just not in Goldner.
15 laps to go across the start-finish line. The positions are changing all around. Kurt Schatzer and Blake Chapman in a race for 4th. 1 up in the wall, that's Solis again. Schatzer takes the 4th spot across the start-finish line. This is the race we're all watching. Yellow, Steven Spies. And another driver involved as well, and that's Corinna in the 10.
Yeah, it looked like Spees got in the back of Corinna there. He got a run in the middle of 1 and 2 and just turned him a little bit.
Remember, Corinna was in the top 10 when we came back to green. And let's see, is it right here? They touched the tail tank. Yep. And John Hine collected a piece of that as well. Let's ride on board here with Steven. Right there.
And you know, Marty, we didn't used to talk about this a lot, but after the update, the incidents, really more of a factor than they used to be. Got a couple guys sitting at 8 and 10 incidents, so they got to behave themselves. We got a couple more laps to go here. Got, what, 15 to go, so they got to settle down and make sure we survive this thing.
Absolutely a great point there, Zach. We have 17 drivers, if not 18 drivers, on the lead lap. And I can't tell you the amount of incident points that drivers have, each driver has, but we are nearing it. So, 15 to go. Lacey and Spangler, row 1. Goldner Schatzer, row 2. Chapman Cranmer, row 3. Flair Landis, row 4. And Dustin Sargent. And Bob D. Good rounds out the top 10. Jeff Flairell as well, from last to 9th. Here we go, back to the green. I should say last to 8th, rather. And there you see it again in the top 2. But Spangler's got some more pressure. Here comes Schatzer for 3rd, but Chapman right behind the tail tank of the 39, Zach.
Yeah, we've seen Chapman pick the bottom on every restart up until this one, and I think he showed himself what he needs to do. He needs to go up top. Chapman could win this thing.
Spangler got hit twice and loses so many positions because of it. I think he caught the wall in turns 3 and 4. He's fighting for his life for 4th. What in the world? Preston Cranmer's in 4th.
Where did he come from,
Oh,
Marty?
my goodness.
I talking about him all night.
He's
him and
been
Terry
so...
Landis in the top
Terry!
5.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. They're 3 wide. And here comes Flairell looking to break in the top 5. Oh, my goodness me. 11 to go. Jeff Flairell from 28th to 5th. He is cooking at the moment. And he's up to 4th. Oh, my goodness. Oh, maybe not for now. Preston squeezed him up. Oh, yikes. That's going to end ugly.
Oh, 2 wrecks.
Oh, Salas with Landis.
Yeah, Salas pointed out.
And they were both in the top 10, and Preston's got, he's lost the wheel. Around is the good. That's Barry Goldner, excuse me, yellow flies. Wow.
That's a real tough one to call. I mean, racing incidents happen. You saw how fast Jeff Flairell was. You got to wonder if maybe you just hit the brakes there and get him the next lap, because he was one of the quickest guys on the track.
Show you what happened. Landis and Salas battling in the top 5, and Landis just came up into Salas. And ooh, Salas got DQ. That was 12X for him. What a tough break for him. Landis, though, made the save, but he still gets 2 more incident points. Here's what happened between Barry Goldner and Bob D. Good. So Preston had lost a wheel. Yeah, Barry made contact with Preston. That's what happened. Let's ride on board with Barry Goldner. You can see the left wheel there. You see how it's going? It's just flopping around. It's just too much angle to it.
Preston was able to stay on the lead lap, though, and get that quick repair, so we'll have to see if he can march back up there.
Now remember, 8 to go, single file restart coming up. Lacey leads, Stephen Goldner second, Blake Chapman third, Patrick Spangler fourth, Dustin Sargent fifth, Jeff Flairell sixth, Tyler Wilson seventh, Jeff Barker eighth, Terry Landis ninth, Roger Craig 10th. Here we come back to green. Lacey holds. Going a little bit on the bumps. Chapman wants that second position. Chapman may have something for the top 2, depending on how much tire he saved on that right rear.
Yeah, and he was running the bottom, taking it easy, so I guarantee you he saved up those rear tires, Marty. You can see him get the run coming out of the corner. He wants second.
Now does he try the slide job on Steven Goldner for second? If he wants to win, he's got to make his move right now. Stays patient on that 3. That just helps Brennan pull away.
Yeah, Chapman is so much better. There
he
he
goes.
He is so much better in 3 and 4. Oh, he's going to keep it down there, though.
Very interesting move by Chapman. Coming by the line. We've got 4 laps of racing to go. Brennan Lacey, Steven Goldner, Blake Chapman. That's the podium. And here's Tyler Wilson, Jeff Flero for the 5th spot rather. Dustin Sargent is in 4th, the defending Raiders champion.
Goldner hit the wall a little bit, let Chapman catch right back up.
3 to go. That's just going to help Brennan Lacey a lot more. Golden's just going to try and hang on for P2, I think, at this point. But here comes Blake underneath. Here goes the salesman with the slide job for P2. He's got it. Now, does he have anything? Does he have anything for Brennan Lacey? Goldner tries to slide up. Now, Blake's going to need a caution flag right now if he wants something on Brennan Lacey. But there's lap traffic in the way, and Blake Chapman's closing in with 1 to go.
Yep, he saved that rear tire. Here he is.
Oh, bad exit for Blake Chapman. John Hines in the way. Here comes the salesman underneath. Slide job, Chapman. Oh, my goodness. Lacey tries to counter it back. Blake Chapman, last lap pass. He stuns Brennan Lacey.
Best night of racing this league's seen, Marty. This was great racing in these 2 sprint car races.
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Can't wait to hear about some Galen's popcorn.
You may need a bigger deal on Galen's homegrown popcorn with that. Oh my goodness. What in the world did we just see tonight? I think right there, that's going to lead to a lot of lessons that you want to save tires early and come out late. Blake Chapman with the ultimate F5. And the Vanderbilt team be damned.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. He showed everyone the cards there. He held the bottom for, I want to say, the first 20 laps almost, even when he wasn't the quickest. But he saved that right rear, and what, did he make up a half a second in the last 2 laps?
Let me take a look. Last time, Blake Chapman got 3/10 on Brennan Lacey on lap 35. Lap 34, let me pull up the iRacing user interface. Blake Chapman went 14.610. Brennan Lacey went 15.187. So, yeah, a half lap.
Oh, my God. You talk about letting it eat. I mean, he just let it hang. Reminds me of Anthony Macri riding the wall like that.
That looked like, oh, my. I don't know what that looked like. Blake Chapman, the winner. Brennan Lacey, second. Steven Goldner, third. Dustin Sargent, fourth. Tyler Wilson, fifth. Terry Landis, sixth. Jeff Flero, seventh. Jeff Barker, eighth. Patrick Spangler, ninth. Bob DeGood round out the top 10. Let's give you 21 through 28. And, Zach, I don't think there's any further debate. This was the greatest racing we've ever seen in coast-to-coast Racing League history.
Hands down. You just saw guys creeping out from out of nowhere. Guys like Terry Landis, started 22nd, finished 6th, just feeding the bottom. He was there. Jeff Flero, 28th to 7th. I mean, you saw great racing all throughout the field all night.
All righty, let's get to your top 3. We'll begin with the third place finisher and Steven Goldner. Steven, how much were you hanging on for dear life though there in those final few laps?
Yeah, kind of embarrassed by that deal, to be honest with you.
From your perspective, were you just surprised with what happened with the move Blake made?
I honestly don't know what to think. With this whole iRacing deal right now, the tires wearing out. I'm assuming that's what it was. I don't really know. I mean, he's good. No, nothing against Blake. Like, congrats, he won. He earned it. I'm assuming it's tires. I don't know. Probably driving a little bit too hard early. Something else to learn. I haven't really spent. I spent a little bit of time down here with Lacey today, but that's about it. So we definitely gotta get our homework done.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
All the guys at Vanderbilt, Ross Cornett, Velocity Race Designs, you guys for the broadcast, Roger, everyone with the league, Fits Perfect Photography, doing Westbrook Racing for the title sponsor for the series, Moon Racing Engines, and yeah, that's about it.
Great to have you back as well. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Stephen Goldner, third. As you could tell there as well, definitely disappointed, and Stephen did not see that one coming for sure, Zach.
No, I think he's being way too hard on himself. First night of the build, the guy, I mean, still one of the best we got. He'll go back, like you said, he'll do his homework. Maybe all the rest of the top guys start to bottom feed at first and then let it eat the last half. But I mean, Blake definitely showed that was the way to go tonight.
Let's get to our second place finisher, and Brennan Lacey. Let's hear what he has to say about that. Brennan, we're watching this final lap right now. Were you, from your perspective? Obviously, we know you're surprised by that, especially with what Steven just said on the record. But did you expect him to be that close to you at the end?
Oh, I mean, what he did was exactly what he needed to do. It doesn't matter if I had, tire damage on lap 5 from Short and Spangler in front of me getting together. So I was pretty much nursing the car the best I could. I mean, it was enough I could still drive it pretty hard, but it wasn't to where I wanted it. It was just kind of hurt me there, but the restarts really hurt me. I did nothing but light tires up every restart, so I know that just destroyed them, and there's just nothing I could do in that aspect. But Blake did what he needed to do to get it done. That's all we can do is try to chase him down next week.
Steven said that you guys really need to get to homework and figure out this new tire model where you actually have to save tires to your advantage. How much work do you put in on that, especially as you're trying to get that Renegades title back?
Oh, it's just trying to put in more time. It's just time and time. You can't ever have enough of it. I ran that race this afternoon and felt like I was pretty sturdy, and then it wasn't where I wanted it exactly. Put in an hour work with Goldner after it, and then we went in there and did, and right there in practice with Ross, we put in quite a bit of work. So we were working all day on this thing. It's just gonna be trying to chase it until you find them sets that work, and then it's just gonna be letting them eat from there.
Who do you want to give shout outs to on the run?
Big shout out to Vanderbilt, as always. Great group of guys there. Glad to see them all back in here. I know it's kind of a rough start here this year, but we'll get them rolling next week at Lima Land. Big shout out to Dirt Gangster Apparel. Really appreciate them coming on board for us this year. And if y'all need some shirts and stuff, go on there, dirtgangsterapparel.com. It's great people there. Appreciate you boys for coming on here. Ross over at Velocity Race Designs making this thing look killer as always.
All right, man. Great to have you back as well. Great job tonight.
Sir, y'all have a good one.
Brennan Lacey, our second place finisher. Oh boy, this may be the happiest victory lane celebration I've ever seen. Blake Chapman. I'm gonna say the same thing I always say when I'm stunned at something. Blake Chapman, what the hell just happened?
Man, Marty, I don't know. It really must be something with this new update, because my car was just a rocket ship in those last 10 laps or so. Man, I don't know. I couldn't get to the top the whole race, it seemed like, so I was just kind of, holding my own, trying to hold my own down on the bottom, and it wasn't as fast. But, I'm thinking maybe that helped me in the long run, because I don't think my tires got as worn out. And I went up top with about 9 to go there on that last restart, and I was hitting the cushion as hard as I could, and that car was really fast.
Well, are you still on iRacing right now at the moment? If so, what's your tire level at?
No, the guys in the waiting room were asking me. I forgot to look.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Zach, go ahead.
Well, I'm glad he said that, because, Blake, we were up here talking the whole race. We thought you were maybe holding the bottom on purpose, because I'll tell you what, kid. I mean, I think that's exactly what happened. You saved that right rear tire, and nobody could eat the top like you at the end. I mean, I don't know if you realize this, but you made up almost a second in 2 laps to get that lead. I don't think we've ever seen somebody pull off a drive like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever driven like that before, man. I mean, I caught Goldner there, and I was, after I slid in, I'm like, okay, hopefully I can hold on for second here, and then it took me like one corner to catch up to Lacey, and I'm like, whoa, I got something here.
Oh my goodness. And then, did you expect to have that huge? Okay, so let me actually rephrase it. So, you passed Steven Goldner for second. Brennan's got that big gap ahead of you with 2 laps to go. Are you thinking caution? Are you thinking please caution?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I was thinking, hopefully there's going to be a caution, but I also knew, it's if he gets a good start, then I could have been screwed. But the tires are just too much. I think I assume that's what it was, but I don't know. I got to give a huge shout out to Shorty. He built the setup for all of us down at Crite Sim Racing tonight, and it was obviously a pretty good one.
John Short, definitely the MVP on the KSR crew for helping you out with that open setup. Well, next week we've got Lima Land, and with what we just saw tonight, how do you top Lima Land? I don't know how anyone tops Lima Land with what we just saw.
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a little different with such a short track. This was, I think, my first sprint race since the new update. So hopefully, get out, do some racing this week in these sprints, and get a little something figured out for next week at a short track.
Did you like the cone, Blake? Did you like having the choose
that's
cone?
a good question too.
I think it was pretty interesting because it made guys think a little bit more, about how they wanted to approach the restart. I think it was pretty interesting. I think it could be a pretty good addition in the long run once guys really figure out how to approach it.
Well, Blake, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Yeah, I got a shout out to my parents, grandparents, Steve Bixler, everybody watching and supporting. Of course, a shout out to all the boys down at the Crite Sim Racing team, and of course Shorty for the setups tonight, and Mike for spawning for me. And I gotta give a huge shout out to Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. That's what I'm gonna celebrate with. Make sure you guys head over and get yourself some popcorn. Use code CART CART at checkout for 15% off. And I gotta thank you guys for putting this broadcast on.
I don't know. You may need to make that deal a lot bigger.
Right as you crossed the finish line there, Blake. I knew that was coming.
You may need to make that deal a little bit bigger with the way you just went. It may need to be 20% off for number 20.
Yeah, I'll have to make some calls, Marty. I'll have to make some calls.
Blake, enjoy this one. What a start to the season. Congrats.
Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman, your winner. He's an Extreme E-Speed TV victory lane, and should give big credits as well to the Flatline Racing Body's hard charger of the race. My nomination for driver of the week, Jeff Flero from last, 28th to 7th. What a night, Zach. Unbelievable what we just saw.
Amazing races through, absolutely both classes. You don't always expect it from the B. It was a great race in the B race. And then, to top that race in the A, we've seen so many races in real life this past week with last lap passes and sprint cars. And then Blake Chapman gives us another one with just the Herculean pass on the last lap. That kid knew how to wheel it tonight.
Yeah, Blake Chapman. The perfect strategy at the perfect time. I still can't believe what he just did. Let's look at what's happening the rest of this week here. So tomorrow night for Asphalt Tuesday, when it comes to broadcasts as well, we've got the Truck Series at Auto Club Speedway, and that race begins at 8:30 p.m. OSRN will be broadcasting it. Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes presented by Flatline Racing Bodies. We've got 305s, 360s, and 410s this year at Eldora Speedway. And then we've got the Xfinity Trail at Sonoma Raceway. OSRN will be broadcasting that beginning at 7 p.m. Thursday night is Thursday Night Thunder. We've got the small blocks and the big blocks broadcasted at Lincoln. We'd like to welcome UDTV to the Coast to Coast Racing League. We're looking forward to seeing what Brett does with that. That begins at 7 p.m. And then Extreme E-Speed TV takes over. Actually, correction, I will be taking over for the next gen race at 8:30 p.m. as things stand. Cup Series at Auto Club Speedway. And then Sunday night, we now have broadcasts on Sunday night, a Sunday night showdown brought to you by Extreme E-Speed TV. and that should be a lot of fun to watch with the Pro Late models at Lucas Oil at 8 p.m. And as we mentioned, next week we'll be back with you for Monday Night Madness at Lima Land. Zach, final thoughts on tonight?
Ah, man, I'm still the nerves are jumping. I can't believe the way Blake pulled that off. That's one of the best finishes I've ever seen. I mean, we both thought maybe, hey, he's going to get Goldner for second. He's coming. Nobody thought he was going to make up a second in 2 laps and go get the lead. That was amazing.
Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. On behalf of everyone, Extreme E-Speed TV, the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, our great talented group of admins. On behalf of Zach Chapman, Marty Sakala signing off. Congrats to your winners tonight, Isaac Salas and the Rebels, and Blake Chapman and Renegades. What a night with this new iRacing Dirt update, and we're just getting started. So long, everyone.